Abhishek, and today I'm going to present the chapter Last Leaf by O. Henry. The story is about Sue, Johnsy, and Mr. Berman. Sue and Johnsy live in an rented apartment. In winter, Johnsy fell ill because of pneumonia. Her condition became worse than bad. The doctor said to Sue that Johnsy was losing hope and desire to get well under the painful influence of the disease. Johnsy began to believe that she would die the moment the last leaf fell from the ivy climber, the wall opposite to her window. She also shared this with her friend Sue. Sue goes to visit their downstairs neighbor, Mr. Berman, an old artist who, after decades of failure, still hopes to paint his masterpiece. One night, when it was extremely cold and raining, he painted a leaf on the ivy climber like a real leaf. When Johnsy saw that the last leaf on the climber on the opposite wall had not fallen, she was somehow filled with desire to heal and get well. This desire helped her to recover fast and she recovered. However, Mr. Berman was affected by pneumonia and died. But that last leaf saved Johnsy's life, and that was a masterpiece. Central idea. The theme and central idea is based on that life is precious and faith and hope should never be lost. We came across many problems in our life and they should be overcome by fighting back in high spirits. The story tells the need to have positive attitude towards life so that we can make it as happy as possible. Message. The chief message that this story gives the spirit of sacrifice we need to have in our life. The old artist Berman sacrificed his life so that Johnsy could live. In this, he also achieved his ambition of painting of masterpiece, and uh, and other message is that we should have a positive attitude in life. Best part and best character. According to me, the best part of this story was when Johnsy has no will to live, but her friend Sue, who always tried to distract her by doing different things to make interest in Sue. This part also shows us how a real friend helps in difficult situation. Best character. The best character, according to me, was Mr. Berman because he sacrificed to save his neighbor's life, Chauncey. He was a great artist by painting a leaf. He saved a life and gave hope to Chauncey.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Friends also play a very important role in our lives. Agreed?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Berman painted, but who approached Mr. Berman? Who told him that this thing is needed?
Sir, Sue.
Yes. And she was always doing one thing or other to keep her friend, at least keep the hope in her friend's mind alive. She tried to distract her from that constant idea of death. She always kept on thinking that she will die, she would die, she would die. But it was friend only who tried to deviate her from this thought, and she did all that she could do. So yes, definitely the great character is Berman, but at the same time, friend has also played her part very, very vitally and very, very nicely. Okay, Sham, are you there? No, he's not there. Okay, so because we are done with all this, so let us get on to the next lesson. If anybody is left or there was some problem earlier, and if somebody wishes to say something, you're most welcome. Otherwise, I'm going to the next lesson. I'm sharing it. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Perhaps last time I gave somebody a responsibility. Who was that?
Me, Nilay.
Nilay. So, beta, you keep your mic on unmute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, beta.
Yes, sir.
And keep on telling me if something is lost, if my voice is not audible, or if something is wrong. You can at least
Yes, sir.
inform. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, I have shared this screen of Tata Class Edge. I am playing this video. If it is audible or not, whatever, you can inform me, Nilay. Others can keep their mics mute.
Sir, the audio. Sir, the sound is not clear, sir. Sir, the sound is breaking a lot, but the video is clear.
Phoebe Carey, a well-known 19th century American poet, was born in Ohio. She and her sister, Alice Carey, jointly published a successful volume of poetry titled Poems of Phoebe and Alice Carey. After the success of their book, the sisters moved to New York, where they wrote prolifically and hosted literary gatherings. Phoebe Carey, apart from writing poetry, also contributed to the newspaper The Revolution, which was known for its radical feminist views. A notable work.
Nilay,
Yes, sir.
it seems that audio is not clear.
Yes, sir. The audio is not clear, but the video is playing clearly.
Okay, and whatever is being spoken, it is running there on the screen also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Captions and subtitles and everything is there. So you can, while whatever is being told, if it is not very clearly heard, you can read also with that. Okay. So I'm continuing to play it, because with Tata Class Edge videos, there is little problem. In the previous class also, the voice was like this only. Okay. So just bear with it. I'm muting myself.
Works include poems and parodies, poems of faith, hope, and love, and hymns for all Christmas. The ballad, A Legend of the Northland, narrates the story of how Saint Peter cursed a woman to become a woodpecker because of her greed and selfishness. Here is the summary of the poem, A Legend of the Northland by Phoebe Carey. The poem is set in an icy region of the north. In this region, the days are short and nights so long and cold that people find it difficult to sleep at night. When it snows, the people of the region harness reindeers to sledges. The children of this land look like bear cubs because they wear clothes made of fur. In this part of the land, the people tell a strange story. While the author finds it difficult to believe in the story, she does feel that one can learn a valuable lesson from it. Saint Peter walked the world preaching the word of God. Once, on his travels, he visited the cold Northland, a region in the North Pole. In Northland, he came upon a cottage. Inside the cottage, a woman was whipping cakes and then baking them on the hearth. A hearth is the floor of a fireplace. Now, Saint Peter was hungry after a full day of fasting and preaching, so he asked the woman for a cake from her store. The woman obligingly made him a little cake. However, when she saw the cake, she thought it was too large to give Saint Peter. So she made another cake, smaller than the previous one. She again thought it was too large to give away. Finally, she took a little dough and rolled it into a thin bread. But as she took it out after baking, she found it difficult to part with her thin bread. She thought that her cakes seemed small when she ate them. However, when asked to give away her cakes, she found them too large. So she put all the cakes on her shelf. Saint Peter, who was hungry and tired, grew angry. In anger, he told the woman that she was too selfish a human being to deserve good food and warm shelter. Then he cursed her to a hard life of building her own nest and digging through wood to find nourishment. As Peter said these words, the woman lost her speech and transformed into a bird. The scarlet cap she was wearing was all that was left of her clothes. She flew up the chimney as her clothes burned to ashes and came out as a woodpecker. So now every schoolboy can see her in the wood where she lives to this day, drilling for food. Now, let us take a look at the literary elements of the poem, A Legend of the Northland. The poem is written in the form of a ballad. A ballad is a form of a poem which is often set to music. A ballad is an ideal form for telling stories in a poem. In the poem, Carey expertly employs the ballad form to narrate the legend of Saint Peter and the woodpecker. Assonance is a literary device which uses similar vowel sounds in a line. In the poem, assonance is illustrated by phrases like away, away. In the poem, Carey repeats certain words to state the theme of the poem. By repeating the words like cakes, faint, boring, she brings out the theme of greed and selfishness. Carey, through imagery, emphasizes on the exotic setting of the poem. She uses phrases like in the Northland, harness the swift reindeer, bears cubs to convey this message. Later in the poem, she uses imagery of boring into hard, dry wood, scarlet cap, and black as coal to state the moral of the story. This poem is in the form of a ballad, where usually the second and fourth lines in the stanza rhyme. The words few and through rhyme with each other, whereas Northland and winter do not. So the rhyme scheme for this stanza is ABCB.
Was it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I expect one student to unmute and tell us what has happened in this story. Though it is a poem, but it's a story as it was just told. It's a ballad. And in a ballad, in poetic form, they tell a story. So what was the story? What was it about? What happened in it? Can somebody tell, if not in detail, just in short? Anyone? Nobody wants to say anything. Strange. Can someone tell me what is the page number of this poem? Where is it?
65, sir.
Will I? 65. 65. Okay. Two. Okay, I found it. I found it. Is the page of the book shared?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I was asking you to tell me what has happened in the story because we have just watched a video. I'll show you one more video from YouTube. But before that, I would want you to say something about it. Acha, can somebody tell me what is the meaning of this word legend? What does legend mean?
Sir, a
What
old
tra-
story.
Old traditional story.
Okay, old traditional story. You should highlight one more thing with this. Can you see this on the screen? I've opened the dictionary.
Yes, sir.
Nilay, read what is written here.
A very old story or set of stories from ancient times, or the stories, not always true, that people tell about a famous event or person.
This needs to be highlighted. This thing. It needs not always be true. It was told, people heard, and then it was further passed on. There is no strong basis or proof. Do you get this? These are old stories, fine. They may be true, they may not be. Okay? Such are legends. So here, where is it? Here. What are we reading? We are reading a legend of the Northland. So it's a place. Northland is a place somewhere. And something has happened over there. And the two characters that have been mentioned here in this story are, who are those two characters?
Sir, an old lady and Saint Peter.
Saint Peter and a lady. What did that lady do? What was her profession?
Sir, he was a confectionist.
She. She was. Okay. Confectionaries. What are confectionaries?
Sir, where they bake cakes, biscuits.
Yes. Okay. Good. So you can say she was a baker. Saint Peter was passing from there. He was tired. He was hungry. He begged of that lady for something to eat because it was a bakery. So for that lady, it was not a big thing, big job, difficult thing to feed Saint Peter, right?
Yes, sir.
But what did she do? Did she give him?
No, sir. The first cake she baked, she found it a very large to give. So she
Oh,
baked another cake.
okay. She kept on baking new ones, smaller ones, but every time she reduced the size after baking, she found that it is too big to give away to somebody who is baking outside. Okay. So what was this? What kind of an attitude this lady had?
Sir, she was greedy.
She was greedy. Okay. Or anything else?
So she was selfish.
She was selfish. Okay. Or can you say something else for her?
Sir, she was unkind.
Okay. She was not very kind. Okay. In this case, for this lady, you cannot at all use any positive adjective. And what is the reason? Only one reason, that she did not want to share with the needy. And what value do we learn always?
We should share things with
Yes. Do
others.
we learn these values at school?
Yes, sir.
Should such values be practiced in life?
Yes, sir.
Should we be considerate to those who are needy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is a very difficult time going on. Not for you and me, but for everybody. You are at a very good place. You are with very good parents. You are at a very good house, very caring parents. They are taking care of you. Still, we find that we are in difficult time. We are not able to come out of our houses. We are not able to go to schools. Lots of things are going on. There's a danger everywhere. We are scared. But at this time, have you seen on all the news channels for past few months that there were many homeless people roaming around, walking on the roads, trying to get back to their hometowns, to their villages far away in other states? They were all walking, no food, no shelter, no place to stay. Have you seen or have you heard all these things?
Yes, sir.
Now, at that time, what kind of an attitude was expected from people like you and from people like all of those who were quite okay at their homes, and they were observing these people roaming around, walking? They were all homeless. They did not have anything to eat. What was expected from people like you, like us, who were at home? What should we have done? Could we have tried to help them out in one or the other way?
Yes, sir.
How could we have helped?
So by giving them some food and water,
Okay. See,
providing.
yes, when we talk about helping somebody who is in need, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? What can be given?
The food.
Food.
Food and water.
Yes. Just now somebody said food and water. And then the next thing comes is clothes or shelter or something like that. If we are capable, we should help. But the very basic thing is food. And it's really a great feeling. It feels great to say or to share that in our country there were millions of such people who came out to help them. And I know you all would also have done something or the other. People, they started coming out on roads, they started serving them food, they started serving them with other things also, whatever was needed. So if at such a time of adversity, if you are capable, if you come out and help out and share, what does it show about you? It shows that you consider other human beings also as a human being you are. You consider other human beings, other people, as a creature made by God, and you consider them as God. We always say, when we talk about community service, what do we say? Narayan Seva. So the people who we go to serve out, what do we call them? We call them gods. So if somebody is hungry, and if that hungry person comes to your door and demands for something to eat, what is our responsibility? What's that?
To provide food to them.
This lady did not do that. And what was the result? Saint Peter got angry, he cursed her, and she became a bird, a homeless bird. She had to continue um, finding food for herself, and she has to continue finding a shelter, constructing a shelter for herself. Saint Peter, in anger, said that you do not deserve a warm shelter and food, and he cursed. So, because we have seen this, we have understood the story. So, I think even if I do not read it line by line, you can go through it and you can quickly understand that. So, I'm giving you a time of, it is 27. Fine, I'm giving you a time of 5 minutes. Go through this poem quickly and then we shall come back to discuss. Or if possible, we can do one more thing. Nilay can read it aloud.
Yes, sir.
Read it aloud, beta. Everybody, no explanation. No explanation. Okay, he is reading. Everybody has to listen to what he reads. Yes, beta.
A legend of Northland. Away, away in the Northland, where the hours of the day are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears cub in their funny furry clothes. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it's true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Once where the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching just as he did you know. He came to the door of a cottage in traveling the earth where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. And being faint with fasting, for the day was almost done, he asked her from her story of cakes to give him a single one. The next page, Mary.
Yes.
So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and though it seemed too large to give away. Therefore she needed another and still a smaller one, but it looked when she turned it over as large as the first had one. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer, but she couldn't part with that. For she said, my cake that seemed too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. And he said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter, and fire to keep you warm. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard dry wood. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. She had a scarlet cap on her head, and that was left the same, but all the rest of her clothes were burned black as a coal in the flame. And ever country schoolboy has seen her in the wood, where she lives in the tree till this very day, boring and boring for food.
Very nice. Very nice. I liked the way you read it. The recitation was very beautiful. I think everybody, if you have nod, in that nod you can clap for Nilay. He read it very nicely. Nilay,
Yes, sir.
Nilay, can you do one thing?
Yes, sir.
Just at home for practice, read it 2-3 times once again, so
Yes,
that
sir.
you can get clear with the pronunciation of all the words.
Yes, sir.
Once you are done with that,
Yes, sir.
record this recitation in your voice.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Make a video and send it on my WhatsApp, personal
Yes,
WhatsApp.
sir. Yes,
So
sir.
I'll post it to the school Facebook group.
Yes, sir.
But practice it 2-3 times and then recite it nicely.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Because it was first attempt, and in the first attempt also you have done it so well. I'm
Thank you,
impressed.
sir.
Now, because the story is very simple and we have already discussed, so it needs not any further explanation. A little bit has been given here about a ballad. A ballad is a song narrating a story. What we read is a song, it's a poem, but what does it do? It narrates a story. There's a story in this song in short stanzas. Ballads are a part of folk culture or popular culture and are passed on orally from one generation to the next. As we were talking about legend earlier, because it doesn't have a written proof or something like that, it is told by somebody to another and it passes on from generations to generations. Okay, a legend of the Northland is a ballad. So now I hope you understood what a ballad is. It's a poem in small stanzas. It tells a story, and it is a story with no very strong proved basis of its being true. Okay, then there are some words here, fine, that we have seen. Thinking about the poem. This all we'll do in the next class. These questions we shall discuss in the next class. So I'm stopping to share this from here. Coming back here. Is this shared? Nilay?
Yes, sir.
Good grammar and spelling are important. But if you want to write essays that inspire,
भाई की पढ़ाई.
Welcome to my Valentine subscriber और जिन्होंने एग्जाम की तैयारी कैसी चल रही है?
Voice is very bad. Sound quality
Yes, sir.
is bad. So I'm stopping to play this. It's useless to play. Let us check if sound quality is better in another video. Let's check if it works.
Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Chahat and today we are going to start with the next poem, A Legend of Northland. Now let's begin with the introduction of the poem. A Legend of Northland is a ballad. A ballad is a poem narrating a story in short stanzas, and in the poem all the stanzas comprise of 4 lines. मतलब कि एक छोटी सी स्टोरी है, हमने जो पोएम के फॉर्म में प्रेजेंट की है और हर एक पैराग्राफ जो हर एक स्टैंजा है उसके अंदर कितनी लाइंस है, सिर्फ 4 लाइंस होती हैं. दिस स्टोरी इज ऑफ द नॉर्थलैंड एरिया, मतलब नॉर्थलैंड एरिया की कहानी है कोई, एंड एग्जैक्ट प्लेस तो कोई स्पेसिफाई नहीं दी हुई है, बट हमें पता है कि नॉर्दर्न मोस्ट पार्ट में है कहीं पर, मतलब कि नॉर्थ पोल के आसपास. Legend means a historical story, one which is a very old and has been passed on from generations to generations. लेजेंड का मतलब होता है बहुत ही हिस्टोरिकल सी स्टोरी है जो आज से अभी तक जनरेशन से जनरेशन आगे आगे पास की गई है. So the first stanza is, away, away in the northland, where the hours of the day are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. मतलब कि बहुत दूर कहाँ पर नॉर्थ लैंड में वेयर द आवर्स ऑफ द डे आर फ्यू, मतलब कि जो दिन है वो काफी छोटे होते हैं और जो रातें हैं काफी लंबी. That they cannot sleep them through, मतलब रातें इतनी लंबी होती है कि लोग रात में जाग जाते हैं तब भी रात खत्म नहीं हुई होती. Where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears cubs in their funny fury clothes. मतलब कि जब सर्दियां आती हैं तो जो रेनडियर चलते हैं और बच्चों ने इतने गर्म फ्लफी से कपड़े पहन लिए होते हैं कि ऐसा लगता है कि बियर के छोटे छोटे बच्चे घूम रहे हैं. The next stanza is, they tell them a curious story. Curious का मतलब होता है कि काफी ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग सी स्टोरी उन्हें बताता है. I don't believe it's true. जो पोएट है वो बोलता है मुझे नहीं लगता कि ये सच है. And yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. पर अगर मैं तुम्हें ये कहानी बताऊंगा तो मुझे इस बात का यकीन है कि तुम इससे कुछ सीख जरूर पाओगे. Once when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below and walked about it preaching just as he did, you know. मतलब कि एक टाइम पे जो अच्छा सा सेंट था, कौन? सेंट पीटर. जो सेंट पीटर था वो जीसस क्राइस्ट के फॉलोअर थे, उनके प्रीचर थे. तो उसने बोला कि जब वो नीचे रहते थे और वॉक्ड अबाउट प्रीचिंग, मतलब कि अपना जो पीस और हार्मनी का प्रीच करते थे पूरे वर्ल्ड में, जस्ट हैज ही डिड, यू नो, जैसे तुम्हें पता है कि वो करते हैं. He came to the door of a cottage. एक छोटे से कॉटेज के डोर के पास वो आए. In traveling around the earth, जब वो पूरी अर्थ पे घूम रहे थे. Where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. मतलब एक छोटी सी वुमेन क्या बना रही थी? केक्स बना रही थी और उसे हर्थ मतलब छोटा सा वुडन फायर प्लेस, इसमें वो केक्स को बेक कर रही थी. The next stanza is, and being faint with fasting for the day was almost done, he asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. अब उसने बोला है कि पूरा उनका जो दिन था फास्ट में निकल चुका था, व्रत रखते हुए निकल चुका था और अब फेंट होने वाले थे, मतलब बॉडी पूरी तरह एग्जॉस्ट हो चुकी थी. तो वो जब पूरा दिन निकल जाता है तो उस लेडी को बोलते हैं कि अपनी जो तुम्हारे पास स्टोर है ना केक्स का, उसमें से मुझे एक सिंगल दे दो. So she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, उसने बोला कि उसके पास इतने सारे केक बने पड़े थे पहले से, लेकिन जब सेंट पीटर ने उनसे मांगे तो वो अचानक और बनाने लगी. She looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. और जब उन्होंने वो केक बनाया, उसको रखा हाथ पे बेक होने के लिए, तो उन्होंने देखा कि जो केक है वो काफी बड़ा है, मैं ऐसे दूंगी, मतलब इतना बड़ा पीस अपने केक का मैं किसी को क्यों दूं? Therefore she needed the other and still a smaller one, but it looked when she turned it over as large as the first had done. मतलब उन्होंने फिर से वो जो डो था, वो जो आटा था जिससे केक बनना था, उसे फिर से मैश किया और बनाया. तो उन्होंने देखा कि फिर से जब बेक करने लगे केक बहुत बड़ा है. उनके खाने के लिए साइज ठीक है, बट किसी को देने के लिए केक अब भी बहुत बड़ा था. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer, but she couldn't part with that. मतलब उन्होंने क्या किया, वो जो डो बनाया उसको एकदम रोल करके पतला सा बना दिया ताकि वो दे सके उसे, लेकिन जब उसे देखा तब भी उसे दे नहीं पा रही थी. तब भी उन्हें लग रहा था कि जो केक है किसी को देने के लिए काफी बड़ा है. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat off them myself. पर मेरे जो केक्स हैं जब मैं खुद खाती हूँ तब मुझे लगता है बहुत छोटे हैं. Are yet too large to give away. लेकिन किसी को दूं तो ये केक बहुत बड़े क्यों लगते हैं मुझे. So she put them on the shelf. तो उन्होंने क्या किया, बाकी के सारे केक वापस शेल्फ पे रख दिए. Then Saint Peter grew angry. Saint Peter को गुस्सा आ गया. For he was hungry and faint. बहुत ज्यादा भूखे थे और फेंट होने वाले थे, मतलब कि बेहोशी की हालत में थी, बॉडी हो चुकी थी. And surely such a woman was
A lot of a distraction.
Yes, sir.
And it's already 3:41, so because the video was yet remaining of more than 6 minutes, it will take long to complete that, and it's not running properly. You have seen which video we were watching. If possible, you can watch it by yourselves, or otherwise in the next class I'll once again show it, once again stream it. Okay, but I hope you understood the story.
Yes, sir.
Have you? Okay. Does anyone want to ask anything?
So,
Yes.
so in the last class, because of network problem, I am not able to present my presentation. So can I present it in next class?
Who is this? Who is this? Aditi ji.
So
Beta,
Aditi ma'am,
presentations are all over. I've made this point very clear in the last class. If I still continue to allow, then what will happen, you know, beta? Every new day, every new child will come and say, now I want to make a presentation, and then in this way our activity will never get over. If you had some technical problem, I'll allow you in the next class. You should have asked me earlier, I would have allowed you today itself. Because in the beginning, I called 2 students, right? I
Yes,
called
sir.
2 students. So you should have told me earlier. I would have allowed you today. Okay, do it as soon as the class begins in the next period. Aditi,
sir. Yes, sir.
I'll give you first 3-4 minutes for your presentation, and then we'll continue with the class. Okay?
Sir, can I also, because sir, my video is off and audio is also solo.
Who is this Pragya? But you have made your presentation day before yesterday.
Yes, sir, because it is not.
Oh, it's no problem. I understood. You tried it. Okay. Because I remember your presentation was done. So it's not required. If you have got something that you have already prepared, you can post it.
Yes, sir.
Or otherwise, fine. I have seen your presentation that day. So that is enough. Okay. You need not take the trouble once again. Anybody else? Okay. So it's time to say Sairam and leave the class.